So we are going to be getting our acceleration here with this Turbo Rogue. Woo! Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the all-new 2023 Nissan Rogue. First and foremost, though, a huge shout out and thank you to the 10 Dally Nissan here in Murray, Utah, for giving me some time with this Rogue. This one is available for sale for the time being. If you're interested, I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below, so you can also check out their other inventory. And I said inventory like 3 times in a row, I think. But anyways, if you have any questions whatsoever, just ask for Jeff. And then on a side note, if you want to save time, money the next time I purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbocharged 1.5 liter 3-cylinder that goes through a CVT automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 28 around town and then 34 on the highway, with power outputs being 201 horsepower and then 225 pound-feet of torque. Now let's go to the front end of the Rogue, and I love the blue paint on this particular Rogue. I think it looks really cool. You guys can see how they've kind of like molded the hood. Looks really unique. And then coming down below, we've got the Nissan logo, the new style logo there with the camera at the bottom of the logo. And then we have Nissan's signature like chrome smiley face that they have on like every single vehicle, it seems like. And then you guys can see off to the side with the Rogue's new lights. You do have LED headlights with the daytime running light just up above. And there's also the turn signal indicator and that lighting housing with the daytime running light. Also, that venting is actually real. It goes all the way through. That is pretty cool. And then you guys can see here with the trim at the bottom. And when you put it all together, pretty cool looking. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 235, 55, 19 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see here with the design on the wheels how you have the silver there on the top, and then we have the dark metallic gray kind of next to that. I think that looks pretty cool, and it looks like blades there with the wheel itself. And then we do have independent suspension here with the Rogue, and then you guys can see here with the fender flare, and then notice the chrome trim there along the side. Mirrors blacked out, and then the roof's also blacked out. We do have some more chrome trim though around the roof. And yeah, the whole side profile, again, really cool looking. So here's a key fob for the Rogue. This is Nissan's new key fob, and I definitely like the look of it. You got the new logo here on the back. We have remote start. We've got the lock function, the unlock, and then if we hold this, it'll actually pop open the hatch. And you guys can see here with the Rogue, it's quite spacious here in the back. It's one of the big benefits of the Rogue. And then we actually have this floor covering here. And if you pick that up, you can see more storage space underneath. And I guess that our whole owner manual situation decided to fall back there. But yeah, you can also throw down the seats. You got the little latch there at the top so you can get even more storage space. And then when you're all done, just press that button and that will lower it right back down. Now finishing things up with the rest of the rear. First off, you guys can see the turn signal indicators, and then notice the lights here on the back of the Rogue. I think that those look pretty cool. And then we have a normal badges, Rogue SL all-wheel drive, parking sensors here on the back. And then you guys can see with the trim down below. And let me know what you guys think about the styling on the new Rogue, but I think it looks cool. Popping inside, this is where things get pretty special. So you guys can see it's kind of like brown in coloration here at the top, and then we've got this nice padding down below, and then notice the stitching throughout it, and then gray trim right there on the window control. And then here are the seats. Again, same padding that you have like on the side pretty much, but let's actually pop in and see what it's like. So legroom, and then headroom, and then you guys can see here with a little storage pocket, and then we've got some vents, USBs, and good old cup holder armrest. Yeah, these seats are really, like, look at the padding on these seats, it's crazy. Let's head to the front. So here's the front door panel. Again, same thing with the trim on the front door panels what you have on the back. We do have some different controls though. All the windows, right? The mirrors if you want to adjust them. Memory seats. And then we do have blind spot monitoring here for these. And then here are the front seats again. Notice again with the bolsters there and stitching. Power adjustments. And then here's a quick look at the pedal layout down below. And then this is to open up the hatch. That's for the steering assistance. Let's pop in. So here is the steering wheel for the Rogue. You guys can see the padding all around and then the darker stitching there in the center portion. We do have adaptive cruise control and like I said, steering assistance as well. Controls for the center stack, volume controls, paddle shifters here for that CVT or Xtronic CVT is what Nissan calls it. Turn signal light stock, windshield wiper stock, and there's the steering wheel. Here's our gauge cluster for the Rogue. So first off, we can scroll through some different menus, see different bits of info on like stuff with the vehicle, you know, the radio rather, right? You know, pretty normal stuff. So yeah, nothing too crazy with that. But the cool part is the drive modes. So we have a snow mode. We also have an off-road mode. Then we have an eco mode and a sport mode as well. So cool that we have all those different modes depending on what we want to do with it. And well, there's a center. So here's the infotainment screen. First off, if we pop it into reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. And then we also have that bird's eye view as well, which is pretty cool. Resolution on the camera system is also solid. And moving from that to the rest of the infotainment screen, got a shortcut bar here at the bottom. So like just press different functions and it'll go right into it. Overall, pretty easy to use. And I like that we have like physical shortcut buttons as well. So like if I want to pop on the camera system, boom. And notice, even look at that. That would actually help out quite a bit with off-roading with having those front trajectory lines. But there you go. We have the stitching on the dash, and then notice the padding here at the top. And then down below, we've got our dual zone climate controls. We do have heated seats here for the front, and then got some USB port action happening. Stop start button there, you guys saw that earlier. Shifter for the CVT, and then our parking brake here, auto hold, a couple cup holders, and then look at the trim all around. And then our drive mode select, and ooh, look at that, tons of space. You guys can see the padding and the stitching, and here in the glove box. And then look at the trim there as well. Definitely a nice interior, actually. And then guess what? We have a panoramic sunroof here at the top. You got the controls for the sunroof, got a little sunglass holder to go with it, and that's all. So here's our window sticker for this Rogue. You guys can see pretty much everything is standard equipment. That's something that I do like about Nissans, is they make pretty much everything standard. We do have some options though, like the splash guards, for example, and like the two-tone paint job. Base price $35,000 roughly. Total MSRP $37,660. Doo-doo-doo. There's a bug on me. Let's see how it drives. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood. Both the mirrors just do have blind spot monitoring. And then throughout the rest of the rear. And let's set off. Oh, setting off in the new Rogue with the new powertrain. And they actually, stupid tripod. That's becoming a running joke, I feel like, on the channel, is when's Ben's tripod gonna fall from where it's standing? This was actually released for the 2022 model year with this powertrain. Not a lot of people knew about it, and I noticed that my videos, like, they didn't get like more views than what you typically expect with the Rogue review, because I don't think a lot of people realized, like, oh, there's actually a new powertrain. But maybe this 2023 review will let people know that, hey, there's a new powertrain. Anyways, ride quality with the Rogue is actually really solid. So, you know, having independent suspension helps out quite a bit. You don't transfer from one side to the other, because again, we don't have a solid axle, which is nice. And so going over the road and everything, it soaks up things pretty well. And steering's pretty solid. It's definitely light, pretty normal for crossovers in this segment though. They always have like random cones like this and random places in Salt Lake that were dropped and never picked up. And so you always gotta traverse that kind of stuff. It's always a fun experience. I don't think any of these people know what they're doing. Well, anyways, I guess I'm just going to turn, because it doesn't look like anyone's going through. Goodness gracious. Sorry, I gotta put the sun, well, the sun visor doesn't help us out at all. But anyways, other than that, the engine's actually really solid. So again, when you hear 3-cylinder, you think, ooh, I don't know about that. But really torquey on the low end, and this Xtronic CVT is actually pretty good at keeping it right where it needs to be in the power band, so that it's just like torque, torque, torque. So far I'm impressed. I want to see how this performs over the train tracks with this independent suspension. And again, this is supposed to be more rugged, right? It has an off-road mode now. Pretty solid, actually. Pretty solid. And if you guys follow the channel, then you know that I recently reviewed a lifted Nissan Rogue with off-road tires. That was definitely fun. Yeah, so I'm pretty impressed with the ride quality. I will say with that Nissan Rogue with the off-road tires, definitely because of the massive amount of sidewall on those tires, it rode really well. Okay, so continuing along, this road that is normally my like bumpy road test for Nissans doesn't really work anymore, because they finally paved it after years. So I guess good job for using tax dollars to finally do something that's worthwhile. But also, my bumpy road test is ruined. So yeah. However, I will say that going over these little manhole covers, it actually does a pretty good job. So I'm actually going to pop it into the sport mode. Instantly got a little bit more aggressive with the response and the throttle. And then also, I can't see it downshifted because it's a CVT, but, well, you guys get the point. It went a little bit higher up in the RPMs. Okay, so we are going to be getting our acceleration here with this Turbo Rogue. Woo! Wow, that's impressive. So one thing I will say that I love about Nissan's CVTs is they're very responsive. So like, I'll use the paddles to show you. Look at this. It still feels like a CVT, but like, I've driven torque converter automatics that aren't that responsive with their upshifts and downshifts. Again, this doesn't technically upshift or downshift because it's a CVT, but still, that is pretty dang impressive in terms of the overall response. Like it's the best CVT on the market from a response perspective out of everything that I've reviewed. So summing things up, I think this SL package is a pretty solid package to go for a number of reasons. So first off, it's still, you know, affordable, right? This is quite a bit less expensive than the average price of a brand new car. On top of being affordable, the driving dynamics are really good. It's comfortable. This interior is really nice. The features you get are great. And so it's just a good bang for your buck. Now, it's not quite as nice as the Platinum, but it's pretty close from a feature perspective to the Platinum. And so, yeah, I think this is a solid value play. Let me know what you guys think about this. And also, wait a second. I have never seen a Nissan Frontier in that color, I don't think. It's like the brown. Look at that. That's cool. There you go. That's gonna sum things up with our video on this Nissan Rogue SL. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Tim Daly Nissan here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this Rogue. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Ask for Jeff if you have any questions. I'll see ya.